Hi, everybody. Missed you guys yesterday. I've just been reading Exodus, and when you look at Exodus 2, it tells us how God remembers his covenant with Abraham. And, this anthropomorphic expression isn't just God passively reminiscing about his covenant with Abraham, but it's really something that spurs God into action. And so there are examples in the Bible where God remembers and then he does something about it. It's sort of like when God remembers Noah and he sends the wind, and the wind dries up the waters so that there could be a new beginning. Or when he remembers Rachel and she's able to conceive Joseph. So the story goes like this. God now is going to meet Moses in the wilderness. And just before gone, can you imagine this? Moses has already failed as a deliverer many, many years ago. He killed the Egyptian and then he runs for his life because Pharaoh wants to kill him. And he's now hiding in the wilderness. And this is almost 4 decades he's doing this. And the story sort of picks up from here. And so I just want to share that with you for 2 minutes and we're done. So Moses, he's grown up in Pharaoh's house. So he's got the best education. He's got the best of everything. And you would think that there's going to be this great future for him in Pharaoh's government. But the reality is there's been a transition that takes place. He's now running for his life. He's hiding in the wilderness. And the reality is everything that he's actually learned for and everything that he's been trained for doesn't count. He actually now needs to learn how to function outside all the resources at Pharaoh's house. He's got to learn to function and learn and adapt to the wilderness. And this is where, Moses sort of finds himself. Sometimes we go through these seasons in our lives as well where we just, everything we thought was true and everything that we thought we're building, immediately it gets swiped from under us and we haven't a cooking clue what to do. And we've got to learn and we've got to adapt. And this story sort of, I find intriguing because all these years in the wilderness, Moses is still able to look at a burning bush long enough and focus on it hard enough to recognize that there was something strange about it. And, sometimes when we go through our own failures in life and we sort of don't want to remember the past because the past is too messy, or we can't even think about the future because we don't see any hope there. What I want to ask you today is, don't you ever forget God's promise for you, that is, he'll never leave you nor forsake you. And so, these mystic rabbis tell us that God was testing Moses in the wilderness when this fire didn't burn up the bush. He was testing Moses to see, does he have enough focus to recognize that there's something supernatural taking place. And so this morning, I want to ask you, have you got enough focus to recognize that there is something supernatural taking place in your life? Or have you allowed your mess-ups of the past to paralyze you so that you can't enter into God's destiny and plan for your life? So what we find is Moses is able to recognize something strange. And then when he does that, he moves towards this to examine it even further. And at that point, he hears a voice which says, stay put, the ground that you're on is holy ground. And I don't want to go into that now, but what I really want to tell you is, are you at that place, no matter where you are, where you can recognize that God is busy at work in the most natural of things? And are you willing to just take a step forward to recognize that he's about to do the most amazing thing in your life? I want you to have a great day and God bless you.